Welcome to Crocs Family Racing. I'm your host, Adam Croxton, and with me, as always, Chip Monkington. Chip?
Thanks, Adam. It's great to be here for the League of Champions once again. It is the Coastal Division today, seeds 12 through 5, sparring off to see who can make it into the main event.
Right you are, Chip. In the round of 64, we'll earn them individual and team points. So let's see who gets those. Our first matchup today is Ms. Marvel against Rescue Ranger.
And they miss each other completely. If this is an indication of what's to come, I am not looking forward to today.
Well, I hope not. But if it is, I'm glad you didn't look at your crystal ball, or you might not have shown up at all.
Well, if it keeps up this way, you won't have to worry about me leaving. I'll be too busy sleeping.
Easy, Chip. Rescue Ranger will take the first race by 1, crossing the center one more time.
They switch lanes, and they're off. And Ms. Marvel gets right into the Rescue Ranger and pushes him off the track. Good, our first wreck of the day.
And with that, Ms. Marvel takes it 15-7, with Muscle-Bound Robin versus Orange Emergency Squad up next. You have any favorites in the Coastal Division there, Chip?
Well, I'm liking the look of Muscle-Bound Robin. He knows how to hit hard right out of the gate. Knocks Orange Emergency Squad right off the track.
And he finishes with a couple tires in that center orange section. That'll take him to a 7-0 early lead as they switch tracks.
And without hesitation, he drives the Orange Emergency Squad right off the track once again, landing perfectly in the middle this time.
Muscle-Bound Robin sweeps in points 16-0, with the pink 2018 Bentley Continental GT3 against the Flame Stopper up next.
And they miss each other by a mile. What a snooze fest. I'd rather be home polishing my crystal balls.
Didn't you just get married? Shouldn't somebody else be polishing those balls for you?
Yeah, married's the key word there. That's why I have to polish my own balls.
TMI, Chip, the Bentley would take this round with an extra pass through the center, taking him 7-6 over the Flame Stopper as they switch lanes.
Ah, this is torture. What part of Demolition Derby are these guys struggling with? Hit somebody already.
I don't know, Chip. Seems like a pretty valid strategy. Looks like the Bentley's going to take this one with extra passes through the center.
Come on, Adam. Nobody wants to be the Demolition Derby winner that didn't hit a single car. This is ridiculous. Bentley takes it 14-12. Let's see if the gray Mach It Go versus the yellow Emergency Squad will be more interesting.
And they take off down the track, and the gray Mach It Go smashes straight into the yellow Emergency Squad, knocking him off. Ask and ye shall receive there, Chip.
Well, it's nice to know that the gray Mach It Go knows what he's doing. 7-0 over the yellow Emergency Squad as they switch tracks.
And the gray Mach It Go does it one more time, knocking his opponent off the track and finishing straight in the center for some extra points.
That's what I like to see. Gray Mach It Go sweeps the yellow Emergency Squad 16-0. We now move over to the Lake Division races. The outer brackets to decide who's going to make it into the main event. Any favorites here?
I'm always kind of partial to the bigger cars doing well in these types of events, so we'll see what happens. Our first race is the Dodge Viper SRT10 ACR against the yellow Dodge Viper RT10.
And they're off! And it looks like somebody defanged both of these Vipers, because neither one of them took a bite out of the other one. You can start to hear the crowd booing. Boo, boo, boo.
That's just you, Chip.
Hey, I'm part of the crowd too, aren't I? The Vipers both tie up 7-7 on this one, and they'll switch lanes.
You're not much of the commentary, let alone the crowd, but I digress.
Digress all you want. Those Dodge Viper SRT10 ACR heard me and knocked his fellow Viper off the track.
The Viper SRT10 takes it 16-7 over the other Viper. Next up is the red Ford Escort RS2000 against the red Gulch Stepper.
Well, besides the crop video file, this one wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The red Gulch Stepper puts a nice block there in the middle, and they both end up with some extra points.
With positive commentary like that, it's no surprise the sponsors and promoters are knocking down our doors 24/7. The Escort leads the Gulch Stepper 11-10 as they switch tracks.
The block wasn't as effective as I thought, but this time he rolls straight over the Escort and knocks him off.
And the big Gulch Stepper with the monster tires throws his weight around and comes from behind with a 16-11 victory.
Next up, Muddy 08 Ford Focus against the blue 70s van. And right out of the gate, they meet in the middle, and the Ford Focus rammed straight through the 70s van, knocking him off the track.
Looks like he rolled over about 7 times. Same amount of points the Ford Focus just scored on him. Now they switch lanes.
They're off, and the 70s van knocks into the muddy Ford Focus, knocking him almost all the way off the track. He almost came back to a victory, but could not get a clean knockoff.
And the Ford Focus takes it 11-9 over the van, with the tall Ryder versus the rusty Ford Escort RS2000 up next.
And they feel the breeze go by each other's cars as they miss completely. The Ford Focus will get an extra turn through the center, looks like.
I think you're right there, Chip. Hopefully the tall Ryder can get some points back on the second race.
Yeah, he needs to do something all right. He needs to smash the other car off the track. That's the something he needs to do.
Right now, the rusty Ford Escort has got 8 over his 7. And they switch lanes.
They've taken their marks, and they're sent down the track. Tall Ryder puts a heavy hit on the rusty Ford Escort, but he wiggles off and falls off himself. Oh, what a fail.
And the score remains the same. Rusty Ford with 8 over the Tall Ryder with 7.
Yeah.
Looking at our brackets, Miss Marvel moves on to face the Sonic Flasher Ambulance, and Musclebound Robin will go on to face the McLaren Speedtail.
The pink Bentley will go on to face the Rapid Response Ambulance, and Gray Mach It Go will go on to face Vision.
Green Viper will take on the 70s van, and the 2 Gulch Steppers will square off.
The Muddy Focus will take on the Action News van, and the rusty Ford Escort will take on the Ford Street KA.
And looking at the top 30, we see 3 Team Aerodynamic in the top 10. There'll be a team to look out for as this moves along.
Moving along like a wreck off the track.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Chip, and the outer brackets continue. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos.
Comment on your favorites and share with your friends. I'm Chip Monkeyton.
And I'm Adam Croxton for Croxton Family Racing. We'll see you next time. Stay safe. Be free.